stages is going to be a game of cat and mouse, because we know that Barcelona loves their full-backs to fill in attack. For me, I think it's the wide areas. We know how Lyon play under Bompastor in Trophy.
Courtney Sweeman-Kirk, where will this match be won and lost?
In terms of getting your full-backs up, the wide players then spinning into central areas, so the wide areas for both sides are going to be absolutely crucial. And I think in the
morning, every time the camera switches, we can bring you another world-class player. Diani there. We really are.
Wow.
And there is Mariona Caldente and Aitana Bonmati.
So let's see what she can come up with today.
So it is Lyon to get us underway. Seeing some of the best players in the women's game going head-to-head. This is mouth-watering.
Yeah, it is. I'm so excited to see these players. Diani as well is always one I love. Watched her for the first time in person at the Euros, and I always say she's a bit of a cheek.
Over the past 5 years, can they do what they have never done in their history before and get the best as they look to extend their record and underline their status as the side that have dominated European competition in the women's game over the last 15 years or so. Barcelona have severely challenged that game in charge. Some might say it's the worst kept secret in women's football at the moment, but she is set to be named as Chelsea's new manager. This is the first of Lyon. 4 encounters they have previously faced each other. Lyon have won all 4. What a way it would be to close out his tenure with the club. Jonathan Giraldez, he has a couple more league games to go. This is very likely to be Sonia Bompastor's final. This Bompastor's last game in charge of Lyon. And what a game it would be to round off her tenure. Final game of Lyon's season. Their league campaign is over. Like Barcelona, they have wrapped up their league title. But for these managers as well, Courtney, we know it's Giraldez is approaching the end of his tenure with those 2 final league games to go, having already won the title. It's almost guaranteed that
always a tough one, that the clip on the back of the heel. It's always so painful.
Yes, Dumornay right in there as Barcelona win the set piece.
And we talk about that secret. Emma Hayes obviously signed off in very dramatic fashion, winning the WSL, signing off on a high. So both of these managers are going to do exactly the same thing. That's the foul there. You just see
calf problem. She's made 1 substitute appearance, returned in mid-May, and Sonia Bompastor did say, well, she might be able to start, but in her absence and in the early on for Lyon, and getting a little bit of a talking to from referee Rebecca Welsh. Paredes requiring early treatment. But a word on Melchi Gimone. They are without Lyon, their record goal scorer Eugenie Le Sommet, who signed a new deal until 2025 this week. Ard Hegerberg, as we mentioned, only just back from that.
Opportunities are presented to you that you take them with both hands, and my word, has she done that.
She's been a star for her country for so long. Sommer's absence, Gimone, particularly in the semi-final against Paris Saint-Germain, was remarkable.
Yeah, and I think it's happened on the other side really as well, in terms of Barcelona. Bonmati, Pateas, her injury, stepping into the fold, taking that opportunity, similar with Dumornay. We've got to make sure when these...
Yes, as we say, the competition's leading goal scorer, and she loves a goal against Barcelona, Ard Hegerberg. She scored in both. Melchi Gimone for Haiti. And becoming very much the star for one of the greatest women's sides ever to grace the game.
I think for Bon Pastor as well, it's not bad, is it? You can bring Hegerberg on off the bench. It's not a bad player to bring into the fold if needed.
And the pressure is certainly on. Diani, ball across. Cleared away by Barcelona, whistle's gone. And the free kick is given. Of Lyon's finals against them, a hat-trick in 2019.
Saw the early intent from Lyon. Before that stoppage in play, though, they're trying to play in that Barcelona final third, straight from the kick-off. Fantastic long ball out to the right. Again here, I think that's just going to run out. It is, but just trying to make sure that they took Barcelona under that early pressure psychologically. Defending.
Right start this though by Lyon. Cascarino was in there. Lucy Bronze did her job well for Barcelona.
She was in the right place at the right time, wasn't she? Lucy Bronze making sure, just coming in a bit more centrally. You see there, she checks her shoulder, so she knows what's going on. She knows that runners are coming off her back shoulder and in the right place at the right time. Fantastic to be there and doing on the counter-attack.
Here goes Graham Hansen. She was pulled back there by Basher, but still going, Graham Hansen. So dangerous when she gets on a run like this, unselfish. As we mentioned earlier, those two previous finals against Barcelona, scoring early goals was so crucial.
I think defensively as well, Lyon, I think just a bit more solid at times. Barcelona like to flood bodies forward and can sometimes
over the head of Bonmati. Muello will chase this though. Gilles under a little bit of pressure, finds Basher. Paredes. And the first save of the game for Christiane Endler.
She kept going and love that in terms of driving into the box. Make sure you drive into the box, then defenders, they've got a decision to make. Pariuelo there. Just you see the ball's a little bit behind her. She's trying to dig it out, but can't get the purchase on the shot to bother her.
Against Barcelona in 2019.
She's got a 100% record in a 4 Champions League final, so she'll be hoping for a 5th.
Moving freely after that knock, takes charge, but she's given it away. Scarino, dispossessed by Caldente. Here is Bonmati, the reigning Ballon d'Or Player of the Year. Bronze. Former Lyon player, of course, herself. Won 3 Champions League titles with them, including a Manchester England. No space for Rolfe. Forward by Guiaro. Rolfe won't reach it. Carpenter will get there. When we saw the team sheets earlier, here is Graham Hansen. Now Bronze once more. Graham Hansen. Caldente wants it. Graham Hansen once more. Here's Mariona Caldente. Box. Guiaro.
Back to Baget. Again, it's good that you've got her in reserve to bring her on, and this is the best problem I think for managers to have, and they've got it on both sides of the coin.
The Sweetman Kirk, you were saying, you know, on a Baget on the bench, we know that Rolfe has played so well in this left-back role for Barcelona, but it is a big call from Geraldes.
Yeah, I certainly think it is, and going forward, I think she can be one of the best players in the world. I really do.
Barcelona clicking into gear. Commentators curse there.
Yeah, I think
in Barcelona, this is the San Mamés Stadium, home of Bilbao's Athletic Club, but being in Spain, around 40,000 of the...
Today, in terms of picking the right team, you've got so many stars, not just in the 11, on the bench, and sometimes I think Bajé is probably a better player, but in terms of maybe how she fits in this team right now, I can't deny that Rolfo has made that left-back role her own at times.
If you're just tuning into us, no, this is not being held in your home country. It is a home crowd, very much so, for this Barcelona side in possession. Now with Guiado.
Yeah, and they'll certainly be hoping.
Just over 53,000 in here are Barcelona fans. Their official allocation was around 9,500. That sold out within half an hour. But we know UEFA picked these venues well in advance. But if it does happen to line up, might not be a home stadium, but
it's good for Menlo just to be on the front foot. It's a save you're expecting her to make, but still, I think it's so important that goalkeepers command their area and just breathe an air of confidence through the side, and that they can influence this game. But I just go back to Lyon. I think about the experience within this tournament, and as much as it's a bit of an uphill battle in terms of obviously playing against that many fans, I don't think they'll be too perturbed on the pitch.
All over the head of Barriuelo. An easy take for Emblem.
Yeah, they did, and this is a fantastic ball. As a centre forward, it's everything you want. It's whipped, it's low. See the curl on the ball as well. It's curling back in towards Barriuelo there. So unlucky that she can't get a toe on it.
She is one of the world's best goalkeepers. Signed a new deal with Lyon in December, and after that surprise retirement from Chile Juicy in November of this season as well, very much get the best of her as Graham Hansen's ball in, Barriuelo, and can't be steered home by Rolfo. Lyon all of a sudden fell asleep.
Cross-come shot, a Crotters. Everyone who knows Beth Mead knows very well she's perfect at that, but it's just about getting it in a good area.
Important stretch by Lyon's captain, Wendy Renard, to cut that ball out.
And the shot in the end, being ultra critical, can you maybe just pull that back across and cause a bit of chaos?
Yeah, real chance for Rolfo either to provide more accuracy with the shot, or as Courtney says, try and play it back to Barriuelo.
It's one of those at times, you've just got to play the odds. It might be sort of a...
Yeah, Barcelona wrapped up the title earlier this month with 4 games still to play. They've changed the formats in France. Barcelona growing into this.
Yeah, they are. They're playing a lot more in possession, and that's where they're better in my opinion. Both of these sides though, they're probably not used to defensively having to defend a lot, especially in both their leagues. We know how comprehensively they win their domestic league, so it's probably a little bit of a shock to the system to have to do this much defending at times.
As well as we see the offside there.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, when you win your regular season so comfortably. I think it was 11 points in the end, and to have the chance.
This season, Lyon finished well clear of Paris Saint-Germain in the regular season, 11 points, but then it went to those championship playoffs. That was the final game before this match for Lyon. And they won by 2-1 against PSG, who of course they dispatched in the Champions League semi-finals.
But Cascarino, for me, she's got to hit that first time. She's not got the time to take a few touches, try and come inside, take it on your left foot, put it back across the keeper. Similar to earlier, you might not hit the target, you never maybe not winning the title, but they'll feel from their end, Lyon, that that was rightfully their title.
Here they come. Gimone though loses out, and Matti loses out to her. Gimone, Cascarino, well blocked away by the retreating Aitana Bonmati. Lyon corner.
Yeah, I think it's the right decision from Gimone there to try and find her teammate.
Here's Diani. Does dig out the cross, but onto the top of the net. Not quite across.
No, and it's actually lucky though that we know what chaos that ball across the 6-yard box might bring.
So Lyon with this corner in a game that has ebbed and flowed so far, even in these early exchanges. Lyon on top, then Barcelona on top. And Lyon finding the breakthrough here. And with the delivery. Open clearance. Picked up by Rolfa. Choc prepares to send this in. Lyon is such a danger in the air as well. His delivery, it's a decent one, flick right across the face of goal.
Doesn't go to its intended target because Horan at the back stick there in absolutely acres of space, nobody's tracking her.
And in the end, it will be another corner to Lyon. Heights of Wendy Renard, always a threat. VAR, chance for the officials to have a second look because there were a few incidents in there.
Yeah, they were. I mean, the initial corner, by the way, what a fantastic delivery, how flat that was. I think that does come off the side of the post. I don't think it hits a hand, it's weather earlier on.
Van der Donk. Carpenter. Bash's delivery. Coy comes, doesn't quite get there. Renard steers it goalwards, off the post and cleared away. Well, they're all appealing. We do have
something that Lyon have worked on. It's a good strike from Renard. Gets her hip and knee over it. In the end, Paredes does well to almost keep her arm out the way. She nearly collides with the post while doing so.
Can we play on?
Dangerous corner though, and as I mentioned, that initial delivery, it was so flat, there wasn't any whip on it, it was just so flat into that near post, and you imagine with how deliberate that was. Certainly.
These records, aren't they, Barcelona, when it comes to trying to overhaul Lyon as the current foremost side in Europe in the women's game.
Yeah, it's good. It's going to.
Here is Guiaro for Barcelona, playing in their 4th Champions League final in a row, 5th in total, all in the last 6 seasons. They are the 2nd side to reach 4 Women's Champions League finals consecutively. Lyon reached 5 in a row, but they are starting just to close down. Give absolutely no quarter.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of playing against Lucy Bronze, and I can assure you it's not a nice experience. So take a lot. It's going to take a big effort though, but they're there every single year. They're making sure they're there. It's important. It was a wonderful initial turn, by the way. Magdalene Hansen and Bernard, they're ready to mop it.
Collision between Lindsay Horan and Lucy Bronze goes. Two players that. Graham Hansen with first contact. Bonmati. Free kick to Barcelona. Really has been an ebb and flow to this game so far.
Yeah, the moments when you're just thinking one team is going to really take advantage. The momentum swings, it flips again. I think it's the goal that's really going to make the difference.
So Graham Hansen over this for Barcelona in terms of possession, but then again they don't often come up against a side with the quality of Olympique Lyonnais.
I think they've probably had a good dress rehearsal in.
Back to safety, just about.
There's a lot of choreographing, wasn't there, to that free kick, with actually not too much end product from there. It's got to be flatter to reach that back stick area where the pack had put themselves.
Well, there you go, for Barcelona, a side that love to dominate the ball. Fairly close so far.
Going back to that Chelsea game, especially the Stamford Bridge one, spent a lot of time again. Barcelona out of position, Chelsea dominating. Chelsea, that semi-final, both legs, and could have gone either way. This is the earlier corner that was talked about. It's actually Lucy Bronze that gets the flick on, and she'll be happy to see that come off the post to safety.
First leg defeat in the semi-final. Lyon had to come from behind in games in both the quarter-finals and the semi-finals, and that remarkable first leg against Paris Saint-Germain, where they were 2-0 down at home.
The red card obviously completely changed the game, but I wonder if that actually bit of experience might help Barcelona in a strange way.
Yeah, it's fair to say Chelsea manager Emma Hayes, or former Chelsea manager Emma Hayes, we should say, was not happy about that second yellow for Khadija Buchanan. But it is an interesting subplot, isn't it, that Barcelona had to fight back from that. Here is Bonmati. Now Graham Hansen. Ariel waiting once more. It's a wall of white shirts at the moment as Bronze drives wide. With 10 minutes to play and managed to win 3-2. Both sides have mentality battles that they've won this season and that they can draw on, regardless of who gets the first goal, as Barcelona look for it. Cleared away by Gilles. Bronze is in there, drifting into that central position from right back. Here is Bronze. Guiado.
She wants a corner by the look of it. She's pointing as if to say it's taking a deflection, but for me, Bonmati makes a fantastic run on the outside of Graham Hansen. When that ball goes back, that just needs to be slipped again around the opposite side, because all the Lyon defenders have come across. Wrong decision in the end from Lucy Bronze.
Paredes. Graham Hansen.
Yeah, they do, and you get that. And they've played in a team for so long. When it works like clockwork, it's the best way to play football. It's almost instinctive. The only thing I do say sometimes about Barcelona is it's a bit like clockwork, but some...
Rolfe. Graham Hansen. Bonmati's made the run. Graham Hansen. Bonmati once more. They just look so comfortable with each other, don't they, as a unit? Women's Champions League finals between these sides. Lyon scoring early on in both of them. Really wrapping up the game.
Sometimes you need to inject something different. You need to inject a little bit of tempo, and I think sometimes, because it's so consistent, the passing, the being in possession, sometimes it's not quick enough, and it's quite easy for teams to just let the ball be in front of them and move with the slow passing. But when they inject the tempo, my word, it's very, very difficult to live with.
Approaching the midway point of the first half, And already this is a very different affair to the two previous. They wanted to train more for longer. They wanted to do everything to make themselves better because they knew as a group of players they had the potential, but they had to put the processes in place to be able in the first half in both of them. Different story here as Graham Hansen's delivery cleared away by Gilles. But if we go back to that 2019 final, in many ways it was such a turning point for Barcelona. They lost 4-1 to Lyon. It was their first ever Women's Champions League final. And I remember Vicky Losada saying at the time that they spoke with the manager at the airport on the way home.
Football teams, but you always say it's a cliche, but you learn more from losses than you ever do from your wins. And as you mentioned, Vicky, that was quite obviously a turning point for them to go to that next level. And now it's about
to have a hope of trying to emulate Lyon or catch Lyon, do what Lyon have done and dominate and conquer in Europe.
That's why they've been so successful, and the fact that that's player-led to start with, that the players are going to the manager, that for me, you're always on to a winner with that, because it's about a player-led environment. I always think those create the best.
Big remains outstanding. The big one is Graham Hansen. Doesn't quite get it right.
It's the big one to do the quad. It's so difficult. Almost doing that again. The quadruple would do that. Can they be the perennial champions, just like Lyon have been in years gone by?
Yes, the title is secured. Copa de la Reina secured. The Spanish Supercopa secured. Just the Champions League.
It's more of a coming together. You can quite clearly see that both players have got eyes for the ball only.
And it's Gimone who has come off worse, the 20-year-old.
The concentration that you have to have throughout the season. We always talk about football on the pitch, and I completely understand that, but actually the motivation to be able to train day in, day out at that level, at that intensity, to be able to keep your concentration and keep that mentality, that's what it would impress me more, as well as obviously the fantastic things that we see on the pitch.
Well, Paredes not too happy here. I don't think Gimone is either.
I don't think there's anything too untoward. It's
She is Van der Donk. Aran's in there, and Coy spilled it. And relief for Katakoi at the second attempt.
It's not a bad ball in the box, it's just a little dinky.
She's looking over to the sidelines. I think she wants a bit of treatment, but Delphine Cascarino says, come on your feet. We've got a Champions League to try and win.
It's funny though, isn't it? I think through my career I've played with certain players like that maybe need a bit of a pat on the back. Some need a bit of tough love, and it's about knowing what they need in certain moments.
Here goes Diani. Van der Donk wants it on the edge of the area, even at this young age, to establishing herself on the biggest stage. She's become Barcelona's #1 this season. She became Spain's #1 during the World Cup. After the green,
as if to say to Horan, go on, go and attack that. What can you do? Keeper was less than convincing, but luckily on second time of asking she can collect, but heart was in her mouth.
Well, I've seen her a lot this season, Katakoi. She's 23 years old. That's the first time, I think, in this opening 25 minutes that she has shown some nerves. She is used to play in your first Champions League final. She's been on the bench for Lyon before, but for Barcelona before, but not in terms of stages. That humbling by Japan. She was first choice for the knockout stages and won it.
I must admit, seeing her at the World Cup, so surprised, pleasantly surprised in terms of how she conducts herself. You mentioned her age, As a young player, it's difficult anyway, but as a young goalkeeper, to have that presence, bright future ahead of her.
But still, for any player, Mati, it's just gorgeous close control. Of actually getting minutes, and for any player, it is absolutely huge. As here she is. Not the best clearance. Can Lyon take advantage of what's been a shaky few minutes? Cascarino loses out.
The passing seems to be in the right area. There's always a Barcelona shirt to play to and get you out of jail. It's how brave they are, Barcelona, in these areas. They never seem flustered. In terms of their just 1-2 touch, again, instinctive. That's what I always think about Barcelona. It just seems to happen. The runs seem to be there. Again, how young she is. This side has still got so much growing to do in it, this Barcelona side, and it's a scary prospect, really.
Very good challenge. There's one from Pariuelo. They haven't quite been found so far at San Mamés Stadium by her teammates. And Barcelona must build once more.
As well, you mentioned Pariuelo at the top. You need to get the goal when you're on top.
Wolf's delivery, cleared away by Renard. And loses out though, and there was hesitation there from Lyon. And Chiaro, can she pick out a teammate? Yes. Barcelona are dispossessed.
Barcelona could do with scoring for all this domination. I feel like the momentum's starting to switch, but for me to put the cherry on, maybe she looks up there and I think she wants a teammate on the edge of the 6-yard box. Pariuelo doesn't make that run, which I think she should have done. And then
Cachet off the line. Lyon living so dangerously as Chiaro fires over. Cheers and whistles inside San Mamés Stadium. How have they not scored?
No idea. The build-up in terms of the close control, one, the willingness to win it, and then the close control is wonderful. And I think scored a lot of goals from tap-ins. We've got to be in those areas.
Here they come again. They're building up a head of steam here, Barcelona. Pariuelo.
She has to shoot. She has to try and get something on target. Ideally, you want to be laying that off to a teammate for a tap-in.
It's almost one of these where I think she doesn't expect to get through. She doesn't expect that hesitancy in the Lyon defence, and then suddenly she's one-on-one with Endler and has a choice to make. Do I go for it from the angle? Do I try and find a teammate?
And that's the thing. I think you see when she looks up, it's then the indecision. There's no one to play to. So what do I do with the ball? The angle was against her, don't get me wrong, but yeah, as a former centre forward myself, they lose possession. The movement, the willingness to try and press, to win the ball back, and the positioning to make sure that Lyon can't get a good ball out and play that ball over the top has been excellent.
Here is Walsh. Rolfe. Space in behind that Barcelona back line if Lyon can take advantage, but at the moment it is Barcelona very much on top as under pressure clears away.
Doing well, Barcelona, because even when like that, Lucy Bronze is very, very clever.
Bringing all of that experience to bear against her former side. Paredes. Bronze. Barça is there. Cascarino loses out.
Just see now they seem to dropping deeper and deeper and deeper into that low block in their own half, and they're finding it so difficult to get out, making silly decisions like
to get there ahead of Engen. Sonia Pastor tries to adjust from the sideline. She was in charge against Jonathan Heraldez for that 2022 Champions League final win against Barcelona, becoming the first woman to win the Champions League as a player and as a coach. Again, Barcelona. Renard will clear. Gimone using that pace, but even Gimone doesn't go
so easily there.
Forward by Eguirola. Van der Donk will send it on. In fact, it's Cascarino sending it on, both with Lyon.
See exactly what she was saying there in terms of get up, get higher up the pitch. That's very unlike Lyon, by the way, and that's where you see what Barcelona have done, how they've suffocated them. And I get the urgency of wanting to go forward because the space is there, but wasted possession is sat in. It's so difficult. You're chasing lost causes like she did Matura a few seconds earlier. You feel so out of the game, you feel so far detached from everyone else. But this is a little bit better from Lyon. You can see now they've actually got a little bit higher, although the gap
towards Van der Donk.
Spent some time here, Lyon, in this Barcelona defensive third. Obviously, to get a goal would be ideal, but just more for their concentration, for their fitness level, so they're not chasing, so they can keep the ball for a period of time.
And that is exactly what they've not done.
It's so hard, and I feel for Gimone as well, because playing that lone striker role when everyone try and get themselves into the box, it doesn't come off them, but better for Lyon, especially because they've spent so long, probably a good, gotta be 10 minutes defending, it feels like.
Roller's ball over the top. Cascarino.
In between the midfield line and the defensive line is still a little bit too big for my liking.
Half so far and ran into trouble there.
That's better from Lyon, winning the ball higher up the pitch. They can then.
Here is Carpenter joining the attack, the Australia international, but not on the same wavelength with Diani there. Here comes Diani. She's had a quiet. Poyer's there.
They just need to find that extra pass at times. I think they're panicking a little bit because of that spell out of possession. And there is the space there. Barcelona always leave a little bit of that space in behind, but maybe just find an extra pass into midfield first.
8 goals in Europe, 18 for the season, but just 7 in the league. And when you consider that she won the Golden Boot in the French top flight last season, it's not quite been, although an impressive return, the return she would have wanted. Well, she is the Champions League's leading goal scorer this season, Khadidiatou Diani.
Much more at the moment.
Yeah, we saw some beautiful link up down the right early on between the pair of them, but Diani and Gimone have drifted out of this game. What can Barça do here? Carpenter. Here's Diani. With the whistles around San Stadium from the 40,000 plus strong Barcelona contingent. Oh, lovely back heel from Diani. Carpenter, coy with the save. Cascarino with the retrieval. And a brilliant challenge by Paredes as Gimone pulled the trigger.
We know she's got unbelievable quality to unlock this game, to turn it on a sixpence, and for me, Lyon need to get her and Gimone on the ball so much. There's a lot to like about that, isn't there? The back heel, especially, but it's left themselves wide open now, Lyon, for the Barcelona counter.
Here's Graham Hansen, and she ran into trouble.
That's the thing, when you play the way she doesn't have those high standards, you know, it is a bit of a letdown in a sense. But the touch, by the way, from Cascarino just to bring that down dead was incredible. The right idea and trying to cut it back to a teammate, but Paredes, fantastic defensive positioning, and then the willingness to go and win the ball.
Best move for a while from Lyon.
That's where then they've got to take heart from that. They've got to realise that they can do that. They can open Barcelona up, but they've got to do it.
Trouble in the shape of Eguirola, and the momentum drains away.
As I mentioned, though, down that right-hand side, I said Diani, she's got that ability. We see it there, the little back heel. Probably over-hit the cross Carpenter.
Neatly done. Graham Hansen. Basher for company. Picks up bronze. Oh, Pariuela went down. Rolfer retrieves, and the free kick has gone the other way from referee Rebecca Welsh.
A lot more freely.
Forward by Bronze. Pursued by Bonmati. The howls from Barcelona.
Let's have a look. I like this ball, by the way, by Lucy Bronze. Just doing it on a first touch. Back across. For me, I do think the referee's got that right. First time of asking, certainly 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, and credit where credit's due. I think the referee's got that spot on.
Reminder, we do have VAR, but Rebecca Welsh not heeding. Understand why she's not given a penalty.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think it's a foul either way. It's more of a coming together. They're both at it, so I agree. I think playing on would have been the better decision.
Here is Iran for Lyon. Now Basher. And Small. Cascarino. Trying to evade the attentions of Walsh, and then Paredes. Right straight into Lucy Bronze. Well, Pariuelo not happy. Possibly you wonder whether Barcelona hearing the whistle go rather than just allowing play to continue might infuriate them, but you can...
You know, stops it dead.
Once again, the height up from the back for Lyon. Wendy Renard towers over all. Record appearance maker in this competition, the first player to hit a century of appearances. Basher sends it in. Lyon corner, momentum shifting again.
Yes, but what I love about this is Gimone does so well to come across, and she draws Lucy Bronze, and it left so much space for her, and there's the little back heel early.
And it is Renard with a header, and it's Corey right behind it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable really. Lyon have had 3 corners and Barcelona have had none for all of their possession, but Renard, as we know, she gets up so well, attacks the ball. But for me, there's not enough on that corner. Not like the one we saw previously where it was so flat and bags of pace. That one then I had to try and generate so much play. Just too much on the ball. Look at this for a touch. Cascarino.
Bonmati. On balance, whose half has it been?
It's difficult because Barcelona have had majority of possession, especially in the second period of the first half. But actually, I think power from that far out was always going to be difficult.
Here is Rolfe. Walsh.
When they move it quickly in the final third, they've had all the possession, they've got the movement. They've just got to move it a little bit quicker.
Cascarino. Cleared away by Engen. Here is Guiaro.
Just about. Lyon have maybe looked a little bit more threatening going forward at times. So it's one of those where it's certainly in the balance. And for me, Barcelona looked the best territory, that much possession. The same amount in the second half. I don't think they've got away with it. Barcelona maybe haven't been taken along quite as nicely in the final third, at least in the second half. I don't think they can do that again. I think Barcelona will certainly take a lot more advantage of it.
Bonmati. Walsh on the stretch does Cariuelo. Lead away by Vanessa Gilles. Haran. Keep possession is Engen. Now Walsh once more. Perfectly happy to be patient, Barcelona. Caliente. Graham Hansen. Oh, brilliant skill. Ran into trouble. In the shape of Diani behind Jimone.
What I will say about Lyon is they can't give up that much space, that much through the ranks of the 4 and the 2. It's so compact for me. The spaces in the wide areas, and if they can switch it quickly, I think that's how they're going to undo Lyon. Does well there, and Graham Hansen, wonderful feet, the technical ability on the ball to manipulate it so quickly is staggering. But what you did see there is Lyon very set in their shape, that 4-4-2 almost when they're out of possession. Barcelona are struggling to try and get.
Good morning. Decides to drive and then find Diani. Diani goes for goal.
Blame her. I think it's the wrong decision. Good little chip over by
Haran. A little short that from Engen to Rolfe, but they do tidy up between them. Here is Guiaro. Bronze.
I think you'll see now, last couple of moments, a minute and a bit, plus what's added. No team is really going to take too much of a risk now. They'll both be happy to go in at 0-0. Speak to each other, speak to the manager about what's gone on in that first half, what they've done well, what they can improve upon, what is the plan for the second half to try and win this Champions League.
It would be a record-extending 9th Women's Champions League for Lyon. It would be Barcelona's 3rd. And the first time.
Blame her for having a go.
They had ever avoided defeat against Lyon. It's only their 5th meeting. That is the relative recent rise of Barcelona in play there when it comes to the women's game.
Horan. And I'm just thinking, can you play it out to the right? Can you play another pass? There's 2 players in acres of space. There's also the little reverse on as well to Jamorne, but with all her ability, Diani, I suppose you can't as well.
Graham Hansen, great run. Well, when she gets going like that, she is so hard to stop, Carolina Graham Hansen, but she can't find the finish.
Yeah, and she's got to be hitting the target. It's as simple as that. When she is running with the ball at her feet, she is so hard to catch. She's one of those players that almost runs as quickly with the ball as without it. Does all the hard work. And yes, going across the keeper is the right idea, but got to try and hit the target.
But it would be a statement, a huge statement.
Certainly, it'd be massive for Barça.
They know what a big chance that was for the woman who scored 30 goals, 37 appearances this season. It's the best goal-scoring season of her career. You can put Parayuelo in that bracket as well. The ratio's even better, 42 and 34. Here's Graham Hansen again. Big clearance away by Vanessa Gilles. Barcelona keep it alive with Caldente. Bonmati. They're pushing as we approach the break, Barcelona. Little slip from Bonmati, but up in
Barcelona, obviously in terms of that trophy, in terms of the quadruple, but going forward psychologically, I think it'd be huge at times over with Barcelona, but then just have this ability out of nowhere to switch it on.
Here goes Parayuelo, good defending again by Gilles, and wins the free kick too.
He does well. Gilles, in terms of that block, is excellent. Not scared to put herself in the way. I think it was certainly heading goalwards. It's a good late run as well, isn't it, by Caldente to meet the ball immediately.
It's a lovely ball to Bronze. Caldente.
This is just initially needs to be, but then you see that Parayuelo tugging the shirt. Referee sees it, rightly so, gives the free kick, and that'll be about it.
And indeed, that is it for the first half. A first half that has been tightly contested between arguably the 2 best women's sides in the world at the moment. Quality on show, nerves on show perhaps as well. It's anyone's guess as to which way. Is there time to fashion one final chance in this first half? Playing the patient game at the moment, Barcelona, but time is ticking.
I think it's always ponderous.
Oh, Lyon 0. This Women's Champions League final is going to go half-time in Bilbao. Barcelona 0.